Hey, rhinos. Good morning. Dr. FJ, Susan here. It's been a little while. We're back on it. Dr. Fred's out of the country, but um, so we were talking a little bit about morning rituals, and you were saying some of the docs you're working with are having some challenges there. So let's get into that.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the impact that morning ritual, that how that affects your mindset and how that rolls off your whole day, how that starts your whole day.
Yeah, I think anything you can do to activate your physiology first thing in the morning is great. I've become pretty obsessed with the cold plunge. Um, and Wim Hof, I know a lot of chiropractors are into it, but in the morning, and there's a lot of research showing that it increases adrenaline and dopamine dramatically right away. But within the first hour of, usually first hour of my day, and I get it. I usually get up first in my house. I usually make breakfast for the kids. I put all their supplements out. Um, so I just do that for whatever reason. And then, make a cup of coffee. I think hydrating right away, just for your physiology, is really important. You get some water. Um, I don't eat in the morning. I just do better, especially on busy days of just doing some intermittent fasting. I know for women it can be a little bit different. Maybe get a little protein in. And then the cold plunge is just there's something about just the daily discipline of doing something that's just a bit uncomfortable right away that it is becomes over time just magical. It's like you've done one thing that's hard. I think that's why probably all those military services and special forces they get you up early and they get you exercising right away. Um,
Yeah, and
because
you
you
know
do.
what? You know what's interesting, Dr. FJ, is they're the ones also that talk about making your bed and how
Mhm.
important making that bed in the morning is as you start your day. And I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, I think just doing anything right away, just getting something done, it gets your and a lot of the big time motivational speakers, they talk about how important your state is, and
Mhm.
how, just start by doing something, and then the chance of you getting more stuff done, um, is obviously really, really important. I think keeping your phone out of your bedroom
It's huge.
is nice. Yeah, for when you go to bed, and then also in the morning, not being the first thing, and then you end up wasting 20, 30 minutes, and yeah, you can get into at the end of the night screen time and blue light and all that stuff. And um But yeah, just getting, I think a cold shower. I tell everyone, do that. Cold shower or cold plunge. I started with a bathtub and I would just put ice in it. And then I got a chiller. And then after a year or two, I just bought a plunge. That to me, though, is unbelievable. Then I usually like to do some breath work. If it's winter time, you can't do it. Summertime, spring, fall here, just get some sunlight. I hydrate. I do my coffee. Um, take my supplements, get the kids ready to go. I usually drop them off at school and then we just get on with the day. I like to just take 5 minutes or so, 10 sometimes, maybe a little longer, but just stretching, yoga, get my body just moving a little bit. I don't do any hard exercise usually until the afternoon. Um, but all of that, it helps. It helps a ton. Just get your day going. And then I think on the days when your adjusting days are going to be typically adjusting, but on the non-adjusting days, I think it's really important to just have two or three things you want to get done. Like not, you can write down 15, but like what are the two or three most important things? Like, okay, meet with my team, train the team, do some social media posting or whatever. Because
Have
lots of times
you
we just go
have
ahead.
just to interrupt you, have you ever noticed on the mornings with your kids, if you don't get up early, if you don't set the tone for yourself, how that affects you leaving the house and getting to the office? I know you don't have a long drive.
No.
Some people do, and then they can listen to something positive on their way to the office. But have you ever noticed, like, if you're rushing in the morning, how that affects you as you're going into your office? How do you reset yourself? How do you visualize that short drive as you're walking into your office, and how you greet your staff and your patients?
Yeah, I mean, if you're feeling rushed, obviously that's not a good way. And I of course have done that. Some you just oversleep sometimes. I don't really set an alarm anymore. I just get up when I get up, which is usually right around 6 a.m. And then yeah, if you oversleep, you miss. I would say with this stuff, the Atomic Habits guy has a lot of good points. I think start really small, really small. Like take a 30-second cold shower and do I like the breath. I think the
Hmm.
breath and being focused is so important. So just take 10 deep breaths, hold for 10 seconds, 10 deep breaths, hold for 10 seconds. Um, Super important. And of course, I'm a big goal guy, but I think more than goals, I've gotten really big on like making commitments. Like a while back, I wanted to learn how to edit videos on CapCut. So that was like one of my big commitments. Like I got to learn how to do this. And now with AI, you can learn anything if you just take the time. Um, but I think more than that is like, what are you doing? Because a lot of people have the same goals for 50 years and they never hit it. So it's like, well, what are we going to do that's going to lead to the goal? All right. New patients are huge. And that's an ever evolving way, unless you're in a very small town and there's no competition. Because I'm in a small town, but there's a lot of competition. So even with me, how we're getting new patients has evolved a lot over the last 6, 7, 8 years.
Hmm.
I talked about that at the Q&A. The making or social media organic posting a priority is huge. But anyways, as far as yeah, when you rush, obviously it's not a good state to be in. You feel rushed. It's not great.
Well,
Um,
the other thing I wanted to make mention of from what you just have said, your morning non-rushing actually happens the night before, where you are setting your commitments for the day, where you're setting out your uniform or your clothes, and you're doing that for your kids, you're doing that for yourself. So you can make those commitments easier
yeah.
that next morning.
Yeah, you automate um your morning and your days and the more you can ritualize it and routines. That's why starting really small, I think, is big because you have 30 seconds, right? So it's like
Mhm.
you can take a cold shower for 30 seconds. Um Obviously if you're, you know, the breath work, I'll do it in my car. Sometimes you obviously can't hold, I only hold it for 10 seconds, so it's not dangerous. And I don't overdo it. I just do 10, but I always have 5 minutes on my drive, right? Where I always have that. I could do affirmations if I wanted to. I can do visualization. I, for a long time now, I just really enjoy the breathing. I feel like it physiologically clears my mind and focuses me for the day. So like come hell or high water, when I didn't have a cold plunge for a while, I was taking a cold shower, right? I'd finish quick shower, hot, finish with cold for 30, 60 seconds, whatever, get out, go. Um, yeah, so automating your day and then just keeping certain things very small. Always take my supplements, always hydrate, always do some breathing. So just stacking those little wins is important, and then also it's just so important for your health and your well-being and your energy. That's I think one of the biggest things in the mornings. A lot of people are just exhausted,
Hmm.
uh, and so getting healthy yourself so important for that energy in the morning. And you can't overstate, that. So, and you may need, I know many years ago I was exhausted and I had to do saliva tests and I've done some blood tests and different things, of course, getting adjusted and all that so that I am healthy and have energy and can go. But yeah, I think in the morning, just keeping it start very small. Then like over lunch, again, very small. I skip breakfast. My exercise, I've always worked out some, but it was like, I'm working out every day now, at least during on the weekdays, every single day. You always have 5 minutes, right? So you can do, if you just do burpees for 5 minutes, you've done something. And you get your heart rate up, you've done something. So I think having those small habits or commitments, and then you'll build on it, but then you at least feel good because you did something, no matter what. Like making your bed. What does that take? 2 minutes. Um,
Hey,
making my,
Dr. FJ, I know you started doing the burpees and the cold plunge with your kids. How has that
yeah,
gone? That's a
it's
heck of a
good. Yeah, they hate it, but it's good.
that's a great discipline though to teach them at such a young age.
Yeah, I mean, I just have them get in. dunk their head in, take two controlled breaths, and they get out.
Okay. That's what I would
And
do.
yeah, and but it's amazing because the first time it was like, like it was just funny how they just literally freaked out. Now they still complain about it, but they do it, and they just get in, take a couple breaths, get out. Um,
The
but
other
they're much
thing,
calmer, and then the burpees they complain about it, but they do it, and they see that they're getting stronger and whatnot. So again, I think that's the superpower you can have in life is if you can train yourself to do what you know you need to do, irregardless of how you feel or what's going on.
yeah, and
You know?
the other thing I know that you do with your kids is the you've had them write their goals, they post it in their rooms.
Sure.
You have them have quiet time. So that's all incredible training as a young person taking you into adulthood when you really have big challenges.
Yeah, I think if you want to do anything worthwhile, you have to be somewhat comfortable with discomfort. And I think that's what a lot of people nowadays can't do, right? And I think we've maybe misconstrued following your passion that you think like every single day is going to be a complete state of euphoria. And if you're not doing that, like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. And whereas I love what I do, but still every day there's some things I have to do that, you know, I have to call a
Mhm.
patient that's upset. I have to address this. You got to talk to an employee that was maybe late. You got to do, and there's just stuff you have to do. And that's the biggest thing I notice with the coaching calls I do is I mean, in the beginning, they learn the fundamentals and yada, yada, yada. But a lot of it over time is just making sure you hold people accountable. Like, okay, you know, you need to do this. Did you do it? Right? Did you hire this person? Did you fire that person? Did you raise your fees? Did you incorporate this? Are you in little things? So yeah, the more you can train yourself to just do it now, whatever it is, the better you're going to do in life, you know. And it's with your diet, right? Like you committed to fat. Like yesterday, I didn't eat lunch. I just fasted all day till dinner. I thought about it a couple times over
I
lunch,
bet you did.
but and I love eating. So, but it's just little disciplines like that. And the more you can just do what you have to do, irregardless of how you feel, it's just a matter of time until you win, as long as you have the basic fundamentals. So the morning, I think, is the best time to start that. I would say out there, if you're doing nothing, start with a cold shower or a cold plunge. Do it for 90 days straight. I promise you, you will be a different person in 3 months' time.
Hmm.
It's the nice thing about it is it's uncomfortable. It does a tremendous amount to activate your physiology. It doesn't take long. I think cold shower is the most painful way to do it, but do that for a minute or 30 seconds. Just don't get out. Make yourself stay 10 seconds beyond what you want to. Then you're in control. And that's the biggest thing is knowing that when you say no to yourself, it's no. When you know you need to do this thing, you do it. You know you want to ask that patient for a referral, you do it. You know you want to ask that patient for a Google review, you do it. You know you want to ask that person to do a case study video, you do it. You know you want to raise your fees, you do it. Um, and it's really that simple. And your morning is the greatest way to start that is just by doing stuff. No complaining, just do it. And um, it sets the tone for the rest of the day.
Yeah, it really it's amazing. I've even started doing cold showers, which is unheard of in our house because I like warm. I like
Yeah.
sunlight.
I get it. Yeah, it's hard in the winter up here when it's brutally cold. Um, like if you get out of the sauna and you hop in the cold plunge, it feels pretty good. It's not that
Yeah,
big.
it
But
does.
doing it first thing in the morning, first hour, 90 minutes of your day. The Wim Hof guy, I mean, it's so simple, but it's so powerful. Like literally take a cold shower, then sit down with a window that sees some sun, so you get sunlight in your eyes, and take 10 really deep breaths 3 times with a 10-15 second hold. If you can go beyond that, great. But just start with that, and I promise you, you'll be more focused, your physiology, and then you've done three very powerful things, three very healthy things. Then get water, hit your chlorella, hit your supplements. spend a little time with your kids or whatever, and then just keep moving. And none of that, the nice thing is none of it takes that long. You don't kind of go on an hour run. It's great if you do, good for you, but it's just nice. It's short, it's sweet. And then you start doing things. Because the worst thing is the people that talk about doing something for 6 months,
Hmm.
right? Like,
Yep.
oh, new patients have been down. Yeah, you said that 8 months ago. What have we done? Right? Oh, well, this has changed. Yeah, that was a year ago. What have you done? Like insurance went away in a lot of states 20 years ago. What are you doing to combat it? And the morning just sets the tone for everything else. So, and again, I love goals. Goals are great. It helps you prioritize your actions. But goals without a change in action are just wishes. And then what's the point?
Right. Exactly.
And then if anything, it'll make you more frustrated. It's probably better to not have goals than just sit and look at the same thing you're not doing
Yeah,
for
right.
for 6 months a year at a time. I think you're gonna feel like more of a loser. Um,
I think you made a good point though to start small because it's so easy to overwhelm yourself and
yeah,
then you get frustrated with yourself and then you think you're not a great person because you're not doing what all these other people are doing. So
yeah,
starting small with
huge.
a routine is huge. And I just know that for myself, obviously now it's easier because all the small kids are out of the house, but I love waking up before everybody else. I love the quietness. I love doing my affirmations. Very powerful on how you start your day, your goals. Okay, what am I going to accomplish today? And it might change, but this is the direction that I'm heading in today. And then I do the same thing at night. Whatever maybe frustrated me during the day, that's gone. I set the tone, and man, I sleep well.
Yes. And I think when you've done a few little things, at the end of the day, you have at least a few wins you can
Yeah,
count on.
which
So
is
you're gonna feel
great.
better, right? Okay, I only exercised for 5 minutes, but I did exercise. And I tell everyone, and I kind of got on myself with this. It's like, yeah, I was exercising 3 times a week or so, but it was like I just eventually were like, well, no, I'm going to do it every day, and I have 5 minutes, and I can do 10 burpees every minute for 5 minutes, and 50 burpees is something. A lot of people can't do 50 burpees, so do that. Go for a 5 minute walk, whatever it is, but you did it. Go to the gym for 10 minutes, even if you just walk on the treadmill, but you went. And you stack those wins. And then once you get in the habit, like now I don't even think about it, right? I just boom, boom, boom. It's 7:10. I hop in the cold plunge. I take some deep breaths. I pop out. I get ready for my day. I like to, read a page of anything positive to start your day. The Stoic I really like, but it could be whatever. It doesn't matter. Just stay off your phone for an hour or so. Get some good healthy, get some chlorella, some supplements, some water, some electrolytes, you know, and then yeah, I mean adjusting days, that's really just adjust, but then on whatever your planning, preparing days are, what are the 2 or 3 musts you want to get done today? Get them done.
Yep.
Um, and then, what's number one? Like come hell or high water, I'm doing this. Okay. And then that's what I've become, bigger on than ever before is just like every few weeks or whatever, writing down like these, like, okay, I'm gonna learn to edit videos. All right, boom, we got that done. Now I have a girl who's doing most of it, but I know how to do it. If she leaves, I can still do it. All right, now we're gonna really hit dizziness, vertigo hard. And if you follow any of my platforms, we've been hitting that hard for probably 3, 4 months and it's working. Okay, we're doing that. Now what's next? I want to do some green screen posts. Let's learn how to do that and show people the different whatever. Just do it and do it. And then you just start stacking, and the
Hmm.
next thing you know, you got a lot done, and you feel good. And anything you can do, I start with your health. If you're not sure, start with your health because if you have energy, you got a shot, right? If you feel miserable and you're always dragging, it's going to be tough. So, look at what you're eating during the week and don't let your weekends get so out of control that you can't get out of bed on Monday morning either. So, but look at your weekdays. Be, start small, but I'd say no sugar, no alcohol, nothing. Clean eating, fasting, nutrition, little bit of movement. And the cold, I don't think there's anything. I can't tell you how great it's been for me. I know I'm been talking about this a lot lately, but just hop in a cold shower for 30 seconds, breathe, um, and then go on with your day and watch. Just watch. Do it consistently for 3 months. And also see how you, like my kids, the first time I had my daughter get in the cold tub and my son both basically put their legs in, start screaming. And I go, you just, and they sit there and like, it's so cold. Ah. And I'm like, okay, you've had your feet in it for 30 seconds. So your feet are going to probably start hurting when you're not used to it versus you could have just got your whole body in and got out and it would have been 10 seconds. And it's a great, I think, analogy for life is that like sitting there and procrastinating makes everything so much more painful than if you just do it. And now they get in, drop the head. They complained beforehand, but they don't have the like, it was weird, the nerve, like the freak out. So you set the tone, I think, for your nervous system with just cold breath. And then the other things that happen throughout the day, they don't throw you off like it is. Like you've started your day, and Dr. Fred was huge, years ago, like get up and exercise, run for health and everything. And it is. You can do that. It takes time. You got to be even more disciplined. But the cold is quick. It's painful. It's perfect. It's wonderful. And it's 1 minute, 2 minutes. And you've set the tone for your day. And then the other things that happen, some patient thought you were too expensive and they go somewhere else. Okay, no problem. I hope it works for you. It just doesn't throw you off because I think you've set the tone for your physiology and your nervous system. So um
So
I would say
recap
that
for us. Yeah, recap for us. What would be number one, two, and three?
cold shower, cold tub. What I
Okay.
started originally, I filled up the cold tub, threw whatever was in the ice chest in. It was probably in the high 50s, 60 degrees. I just got my whole body in, dunked the head, 30 seconds to a minute. Breath, and then write down one thing you want to do. Prioritize one action each day. The most important thing to take you towards for your business. Unless your business is crushing, prioritize and maybe your personal life. Like, okay, I'm gonna sit down and have coffee with my spouse, whatever it is, or but one thing you're gonna do that day. So I would do cold breath, one action, every
Great.
single day to start your day. And then just make your health a priority. Make sure your nutrition, your exercise, your movement, because then you'll have energy, you'll feel good. Then a busy day is enjoyable. You got a whole bunch of adjustments, new patients reports. It's fun. If you're exhausted, it's not fun. Um, so that's what
Awesome.
I would do. Yeah, I'd love to hear the input. Try it, guys. Try it 3 months. Cold and breathing, if nothing else. Do that every morning for 3 months and let me know how you feel because I promise you'll be different.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I promise I'm going to be better. We're going to do these every week. And let us know if there's anything you want to cover, any questions you have. Thinking about doing an interview thing. Let me know if you guys are interested in that at all. And have a great week. Keep charging.